Friday. Friday's here. Yes, I'm so happy. So glad it is the weekend. I hope you all are doing great. I am having another wonderful day. So happy to be alive. Yes, indeed. What I wanted to cover today was a couple of tips that I can give you that I've learned from my own experience that has helped me with depression and anxiety. But first of all, I wanted to tell you a little bit about um, just about my issues with having keeping a full time job. So in the last 5 years, I've had about seven different jobs, all full time, and I have, of course, like I've said before, I have chronic pain. It makes me move a lot slower than I've ever moved in my whole life. And I've had to come to the realization that I just have to accept the fact that I don't do anything fast anymore. It's got to be at a slow pace. It takes me, like, just to take a shower, it takes me 45 minutes to an hour to totally, have my hair brushed and out of the bathroom. It takes like 45 minutes to an hour. So it's really slowed me down a lot, and it's been very upsetting to me. I've had to learn to accept it. But what I have, uh, so like I was saying, I've had about seven jobs in the last 5 years, and I did actually once I met Ira, I was able to take about a year or a year and a half off because he worked while I stayed home, or actually while he worked, I went to school during that time, and I was able to work on myself and find different things that helped my depression and anxiety, and so in since then I also have had knee surgery replacement. I have a fake knee in my body or whatever you want to call it. But ever since then I've had chronic pain. I don't know why. I don't know what happened, but ever since I had that knee replacement, it has not been good because I went from being able to get around and be just like a CNA basically when I was going to school, and that is a very active job, very active, and I was able to do that, and I was in a lot of pain because my knee hurt real bad. It was in real bad shape, but other than that, every other part of my body was fine. But so ever since then, I've because of inactivity, I don't do regular activities that everybody else does, like just the amount of walking I do in a day is walking around the house for whatever reason. That's like the most movement I have in the day, so I don't burn as many calories. So therefore, I've gained over 100 pounds in like about 2 years period of time. And right now, I'm in the process of trying to lose that weight. I'm very determined to get it off. I've lowered my calorie intake because it wasn't even like I was eating a lot of food. I wasn't, but I was eating too many calories for the amount of activity I had in a day. So I have lowered my calories down more. And eventually I'll implement exercise, like doing chair exercises, but I'm working on that. So, anyways, back to the situation with the job. So, what I had to do recently was go down to part time. I came to the realization that I'm not able to keep a full time job right now. It's just ridiculous. So, because it takes me so long to do anything anymore, it's just very exhausting. And for other reasons, I went part time. The anxiety and depression acts up, especially the depression will act up. I'll have a real bad day, and I just don't feel like facing the world. And so what happened why I had so many jobs was because I would switch. Once I ran out of sick days at one job, I would run to the next, get another job and resign at the other job I had, and then so it's just been like a cycle that I've been going through. So I've realized I finally came to accept the fact that I can't move as fast as I used to, and I'm not able to hold a full time job. So the tips that I have for you, though, that have worked for me very well is one thing I realized when I had that year and a half off. I took up coloring. One of my friends told me you should try coloring with the adult coloring book. So sure enough, that did a lot of good for me. It made me relearn because kind of I had to relearn how to focus on anything because my brain was all over the place because I had such high anxiety, and So coloring is great. And then once you color for a while and get used to that and can get yourself focused on that one thing, then go on to something maybe a little bit more difficult. Like I got into jewelry making. That is so much fun. I really enjoy that. And that helped immensely. And then if you get tired of that, you can move on to something else or implement something new and still do what you're doing before. So that all helps just so much. I mean, they really are being um, dead on correct when they talk about coloring being good for adults. It really and truly is. The other thing I can tell you to do is, I know with depression, it sometimes I get it so bad that it makes me have body pain, and that's why I end up by not wanting to move because I'm in pain everywhere. So what I do is I don't write it down. I should because I'm very forgetful, but when it's just one thing I have to remember, I can pretty much do that. But what I do is like make a mental note, or you can write it down. Some Pick a task that you want to accomplish in the day and write it down. And then once you accomplish that task, mark it off your list, and then you'll be amazed at how much better you feel, because with depression it's like a double-edged sword. You're depressed, so then you don't want to get up and do anything, but then when you don't get up and do anything, you feel guilty and you actually feel more depressed. So what I've learned to do is write, like I said, write it down, mark it off your list, and you'll feel so much better. um, because I've noticed that if I'm depressed, if I sit around all day, I feel worse. But if I get up and I go clean the kitchen, or work on my business, something like that, or color or something, even paint, whatever the case may be, whatever it is that you like to do that you find enjoyment out of, you get enjoyment out of, do that. Um, and that's pretty much it for the tips I have so far. I'm sure more will come to me as time goes on, but this afternoon, that's what comes to mind first. So I hope that everybody has a fabulous Friday, and I will be posting more videos over the weekend. I'm going to try to think of some more things that we can talk about. And I welcome your suggestions, your comments. Please like my video if you did like it, and subscribe to my page so you can follow me and my videos as we go. Okay? Thank you, and I hope you have a terrific Friday.